Hello and welcome to another ARK Let's Play. We're going to be doing the Central Cave Run, which is Artifact of the Clever. Now this cave isn't that hard to find just because it's kind of in the open. You just have to know where to look for it, honestly. It didn't take as long as I thought it was going to take me. But this cave sometimes do have those little flying bugs, whatnot, that if you're not prepared for them, they can definitely kill you. I've done this cave so many times that the first thing I do is making sure they attack me, so when I actually get down and try to get, take out my spawns and, corral my things, they don't bother me. I don't die accidentally. I don't think there's a requirement for these caves. I haven't found one. And I kind of just go in. I have my armor, and again on my taskbar there's my items that I'll be using. I do prefer to have a shotgun in this case. And then once I'm in, I'm going to go ahead and spawn out my raptors from their cryos. I did find that having your raptors on neutral and aggressive, they automatically go and attack, as you can see. And in this case, I don't recommend it. I recommend it to where they're just like attack your target. Because as you can see, I had some trouble trying to control my raptor at the beginning, especially since an onyx just kind of came at me and stuff, which was my mistake. When I did this cave run, you're gonna see earlier in the game, in the video, that having them on neutral isn't always great, because I lost most of my raptors when they jumped in the ocean or in the lake that they have, and went after the sarcos and piranhas and everything else, and I did lose a couple of them. However, when I was prepping for a cave run in the previous video, the video before last, you can see that I went to tame raptors just for this run. Now, you can breed them if you like. However, depending on the server that you're on, official, unofficial, or single player, you do have, the settings for the, I believe for breeding, there should be a cooldown. And after you bred your dinos and you go back to change it, you still have to wait the allotted time for the breeding to cool down. So that's something you do want to check to see how many times you are able to breed. And I mean, I tame like 10 different raptors. Most of them are at least higher than level 20. Some of them are close to 30. Which is fine for this case. I knew that these raptors, there's just like kind of like my dummy run raptors, I believe. So I wasn't too attached to these since I just tamed them. Now the ones I breed, then I breed for stats, then yes, those I want to be a little bit more careful. But these, since I just tamed in the wild, they're not really a big loss to me. It's just the fact that I wish I'd gotten the saddles, since you do have to make the saddles for all of them. And they do give a little bit more protection and everything. So what I'm doing right now is just leveling up my raptors that I didn't already. And then we're going to go and start the cave run. Alright, so like you just saw, the centipedes, they absolutely destroy your armor. If you do want to take another spare with you, then you are more than welcome to. Sometimes I feel like I'm just running around without either pants on my character or a shirt or something. But they do. Another pair of armor, it does come in handy, because sometimes depending on where you're at, or at least the type of cave environment, you do want to make sure you have different levels or different sets of them, or even if they don't match, I highly recommend you carrying another one. Like I have already cleared this cave. I'm just going back as a demonstration, as well as to get another artifact. And then the first time I didn't do it with any type of mounts or anything coming you know, with me, like the raptors in this one. This video I did bring the raptor to see if it would be easier. I found that yes, it is easier, but however, I didn't program my raptors the way I wanted them. I believe most of them are neutral and some of them are in attacking target. I whistled to attack this target and they all of them should have done that. However, you're gonna see in a moment that when I do cross the water, they automatically just jump off the ledge and into the water, and yeah, they kill a lot, but they also die themselves, which when I did this I didn't realize that was going to happen. But it does come in handy just because if I'm in attack, then they will come at my rescue, which at the same time is very helpful. And as you can see, I made the mistake of putting them in aggressive. I mean, if you want them to be in aggressive, that's fine. I just totally forgot about the water part that you're gonna see momentarily. And, well, they're aggressive, so they will attack anything, right? Unfortunately, that was my mistake, and oh, and also this part here, keep in mind that sometimes your raptors do get stuck on stuff, so if you want them to go with you, then keep in mind where they're at. So some of them did make it to the other side, and then they all kind of went down there, and then they're killing, they're doing great. Then I'm left to defend myself on this side. Just because, like I said, I totally forgot that there are other dinos on here, and then, you know, they're killing, and then, you know, I'm trying to help them out, so maybe I might be able to. Then all my clothes disappeared, you know, I'm killing some stuff, and then that Sarco, it's just, I guess it was too much for them. There was a bunch of Sarco in that water. So, I mean, which is fine, it's no big deal. However, I did have other, well, excuse me. So I do have more raptors in my parapods that I went ahead and do, and this one is a little bit crazy. I don't remember what the one is, but oh, it was neutral. So I find that this part I really didn't need to uncryo anything else because the artifact is just around the corner. However, going into it further in, then, you know, it kind of helped. And this one does have a saddle, so if I really wanted to ride it, then it would have helped. And then all the keratin that I found on here is really helpful if you're trying to make cementing paste and whatnot. But this part right here, I don't think it was necessary just because the artifact is just around the corner and most of the dinos in this cave have already been dealt with. Now, the saber tooth that I want to go ahead and ride it. However, I didn't use it because I thought I was going to go all the way around, but from what I can see, everything was already dealt with. I thought that the cave would have already tried to replenish itself with the dinosaurs or anything, but I didn't see it. I had to do it several times, or at least wait a long amount of time for it to replenish anything, but it was it didn't. I ended up waiting about maybe 2 or 3 days before I went in playing, you know, the full game for it to have the time to respawn everything. But it didn't, so that's why I found it really unnecessary to have so much dinos out after the fact that I already lost 4 raptors. But, you know, there is the artifact, and again, thank you so much for joining me.